Because it's very important to understand that the consequences of sex are not just carried by the two people who are having a sexual activity. The consequences of sex are carried by the two. Tafara aliti. By the two. So they are the first two who carry the consequences, the two having the sexual activity. The family also has a responsibility. Remember, the perspective is child marriage and obstetric fistula. The consequences of a sexual activity by children has implications and responsibility to the family. The family would have to contribute to the upkeep of that child. Because avavana, so it has responsibilities to the family. The consequences of sexual activity of children is also responsibility to the state. Because the state would have to deal with the medical services, Department of Social Development, on maintenance issues, on custody issues. So when we are discussing this issue, let's address first the reality that children among themselves are having sex. And at times they don't even ask each other birth certificate. They don't. So how do we address that issue? Because we know as a fact, it's a fact that children are dying. That our maternal mortality indicator is from age 14. We know for a fact that children are having obstetric fistula. We know for a fact that they are living in gender-based violence families. We know for a fact that they are living with HIV. We know for a fact that they are dropping out of school. We know for a fact that we must increase the resources for social protection systems in this country. Openly happen with the traditional leaders, the young people, and the rights, the sexual and reproductive rights movement, deeply, much more deeply. They should not talk in silos. With the religious institutions, with the traditional, so that we actually, honestly evolve a new approach and a position that we want to be as a nation. So that we are not advocating to the traditional leaders and the religious, but we are having conversations together with, in order to find solutions together with. Secondly, we have to scale up some of the innovations that are happening. I'm very excited. I'm very excited that we are claiming back our own indigenous knowledge in places of being where conversations are happening and bringing them to scale and defining how we do things. So I hope that in Zimbabwe we would, whenever we are saying we are doing a Gurukuro, we say a dialogue, we say Trubita Gurukuro. We give it an extra touch, which is, I don't know what is Gurukuro in Sindebele, in Dao, and in other languages, so that we continue to claim and own the language, because it increases also the depth of the conversations that we have. We must continue to support the courageous conversations in Parliament. We must support our parliamentarians who are daring to have this hard conversation as Parliament.
And they sign all this Maputo declaration, and we come and domesticate it in Parliament, and we don't act. And there isn't somebody who is saying, I'm a goodwill ambassador, Comrade Mnangagwa, what is the problem here? Why are children dying of teenage pregnancies? And when we meet with, I want to salute him, by the way, the president. But when we meet him, even with a comprehensive sexual education act, he said, how come? It means somehow there's a gap. We have a Maha Tzadak, Maha resolution on self-abortion. but it has not seen the day of light. Yes, it has Mozambique, a few we can point. My problem is, at the household level, there's poverty.
Yes, it is.
So we cannot even run away from the fact that child marriage is about poverty. Go to Epworth and see, it's all poverty. Nothing else is causing that. So for me, what is important as we discuss here is to acknowledge the truth, and also everybody must play their role. Just yesterday I was telling of an AU representative of child rights in the Ministry of Health. I said, you are not doing your job. We ran around this whole country. We did not see you anywhere. And you are not, even when you write your reports, what reports are you writing? That's exactly our problem. So we need peer review of heads of states, because poverty is because of heads of states. Nobody could poverty path. Because look at Kagame. Do you know how many committees from parliament keep going to Rwanda for benchmarking? Kuti tonoona insurance, tonoona kuti SRH. Kagame doesn't need peer review. Kagame just called CSOs and said, takuchinja mtemo we abortion. Imimi enda munoita msindo. Iwe Minister of Health, unzapiri, go bola. They're finished. But us, we can't even open our mouth to talk about these issues. We can sit here, we are afraid to talk about safe abortion, we are afraid to talk about access, we are pretending. That's my worry.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.